Today marks the 20th anniversary of Operation Iraqi Freedom. On this day, back in 2003, the U.S. invaded Iraq to destroy Iraqi weapons of mass destruction and to topple Saddam Hussein's dictatorship. No weapons of mass destruction were found, but Saddam Hussein was knocked out of power. When they pulled out the forces the first time in 2011, the war's toll was at least 4,400 U.S. deaths and more than 32,000 wounded. At least 100,000 Iraqi civilians died. Back here in the Coastal Bend, my fellow Iraqi war veterans and one mom of 2 combat soldiers opened up to me about this important anniversary. In tonight's part 1 of a 2-part series, now 2 decades later, they share their thoughts and their feelings about the U.S. invasion of Iraq in their own words.
At this hour, American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq, to free its people, and to defend the world from grave danger.
He had the right intel, the right information, and I think he made the correct decision, and I support it. I am Anne-Marie Torres. I served with the U.S. Army. I was in Baghdad, Iraq from 2009 to 2010. At Camp Stryker, I served with the 812 Quartermaster Unit. We did different jobs while we were there, materials yard, fuel farm, escort missions.
The push to Baghdad was, we didn't have anything. You were sleeping in the ground, you're digging a foxhole and sleeping in the ground, that's what we did. My name is JJ de la Cerda. I'm a Marine Corps veteran. I served with 1st Marine Division, 2nd Battalion, 11th Marines, Echo and Headquarters Battery. It was kind of, I'm not gonna say it's a little scary. It's, you're going into a war, you got these missiles flying over your head, and so it was a little bit scary, but you get through it with your brothers there, you fight for each other, and that's kind of how we got through it.
It was wild. We called it the Mad Max tour because we never slept in the same place twice. My name is Ryan Morse. I served in the Army in Iraq from 05 to 06 with the 5th Battalion, 3rd Field Artillery. We did route clearance from the north end of Iraq through Fallujah and Ramadi. There were times when you realize that this is a massive mission. There's times when you realize you just kind of want to go home. But you understood that you had to be there, you had to do your job correctly and with honor.
Yeah, I'm proud to be an Iraqi veteran. I'm proud to have been out there and served, especially with my brothers out there. To the boys we lost too, we missed them.
Guys that we lost, it's not necessarily the memory you want, but definitely memorable. My name is Skylar Barker. I served with the United States Marine Corps with 2nd Battalion, 4th Marines, 5th Marine Division. I served in Iraq from 2006-2007. We did a lot more interaction with the elders in the community out there. So it went from very much nobody came outside when we were out. As we were there longer and clearing buildings and finding caches and catching targets, you started to see them come out with white flags. And then it slowly developed into where it almost was like a parade. Like they loved seeing us.
We were there in Iraq from the very beginning. My name is Robert Burke Shelton. I'm a 10-year U.S. Army veteran. I was active duty. I served in Iraq in 2003 with Bravo Company of the 9th 101st Airborne out of Fort Campbell, Kentucky. I was medically evacuated in mid-November, November 15th specifically. I was enduring through a aerial mission at night and was in a helicopter crash. Our tail rotor was hit with an RPG. We lost some guys that night. It's made me a much more spiritual person, obviously, because I'm able to breathe. And people don't usually live through a situation like that. There were actually 5 of us that got out of that. And just that statistic alone is mind-blowing.
Any cuts and bruises, I was there. Any counseling, I was there. Anytime, there was some therapy that was needed, I was the person they called for. My name is Raul Cervantes. I served in the Navy for 20 years. Initially served with the Marine Corps, 1st Battalion, 8th Marines, Charlie Company. We relied on each other, brothers left and right, to get in there, do what we had to do, liberate the people of northern Iraq, and then just, try to get everybody home together.
And then watching it on TV was pretty tough too. It was right there in your living room. And you try and catch a glimpse of maybe you could see your son. Not only me, lots of parents that came together. I'm Debbie Zuniga. I'm a proud mom of 2 sons who served in Iraq. And as my oldest son would say, both of them really, Mom, do you want it to happen here like it did on 9/11, or do you want us to take the fight over there? And they were just doing their job. That's the answer they would give. And so you just let them go. That was the hardest thing to do. It's what God gave them to me for, like, to protect and defend.
And we are so thankful for families like Debbie's and to all of our veterans as well. To learn more about their stories, go to christv.com, click on Veterans in Focus. Tomorrow night, did we make the right call invading Iraq 20 years ago? Watch in their own words tomorrow at 6, right here in Chris 6 News.